How you going, guys? Welcome to another reaction video. Who are we watching today, Dan?
We are watching Mojo, so watchmojo.com. So we're going to react to a video on here. It's called Top 20 Times Real Life Ghosts Were Caught on Camera. So we thought, oh, we'll have a look. It goes for about 17 minutes 30, so we thought we'd give this a look at.
Yeah, we'll give it a crack.
Yeah, so we haven't seen this yet, so it's a surprise to us as it is you. So let's check it out.
That is horrible. Something just like, it was like a footstep right next to me.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 times ghosts were actually caught on camera.
Yeah, his hands on her shoulders.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he's watching over her.
I can still hear that voice.
I remember that.
I remember that. That was
photos
good.
of mysterious figures that just might be spirits from the great beyond. At least that's what some believe. Do you think ghosts are real? If not, let us know if this video changes your mind in the comments. Number 20, WT Stead. British medium Richard Borsnell rose to notoriety with his spirit photographs. While many were considered fraudulent, Borsnell's most famous photo featured William Thomas Stead and a supposed spirit. A newspaper editor and one of the earlier investigative journalists, Stead was also an outspoken spiritualist. Investigating a case, Stead posed for this photo, which he deemed the real deal. Resembling the ghost of Christmas present, the mounting figure next to Stead was identified as Piet Botha, a Boer soldier who died in the South African War. Although Stead claimed that Botha wasn't known in England, others found articles from several years earlier reporting his death with a photo including. It's also been theorized that the spirit was taken from a photo of Empress Elizabeth of Austria. Number 19, Three's a Crowd. In the early 2000s, a couple of girlfriends had a stranger take their photo in Manila, Republic of the Philippines. An unexpected third party popped up in the pic, however.
Cool.
The transparent figure appears to be grabbing one girl's arm, although neither sense...
It's because it's grabbing the arm.
Yeah.
If there was no arm grab, you would think, oh, it's just a, like a double exposure type thing with the photo, you know. Because he's grabbing the arm.
Looks different.
Or it, or he, or it, or whatever it is. But you look at the face, it looks like he's looking down, or it, and he's looking up into the camera, or to them, you know.
Is it just me, or does he look like he's got a watch on his arm?
Yeah, I don't know. There is something there. Whether it's whether that be a glitch in the, I don't know. But it does look like it could be a watch there. Yeah,
It's pretty interesting. What do you think, guys?
yeah.
another presence in their midst. While the figure's body seems to be human, its head looks like a cross between a monkey and a house elf.
Dude.
Oh, wrong movie.
The photo
Yeah.
was taken on a cell phone camera, which explains the low quality. It also might explain the figure, which could be a result of double exposure. However, we like to believe that a lonely ghost was looking for a girl.
You can tell who's the nerd out of us two.
Wow, that's Lord of the Rings, Gollum.
Gollum, yeah. Sorry, wrong movie. Oh, wow. I'm leaving that in.
Night out. Number 18, Ghost on the Train Tracks. Complete with a nighttime backdrop, train tracks, and a small phantom-like being, this photo has all the hallmarks of a classic ghost story. Speaking of which, the photo's backstory sounds like something you'd hear around a campfire. According to legend, a school bus stalled on the San Antonio tracks in the 30s or 40s. Suddenly, a train charged into the bus, resulting in the deaths of several children aboard. In one version, the bus driver survived the crash. Overcome with guilt, the driver attempted to take their life by waiting on the tracks for another train, but the ghosts of the children pushed their car to safety. This photo from Andy and Debbie Chesney suggests that the intersection is grounded in tragedy and the supernatural. Number 17, Robert A.
The one thing I will say about photos, they're very easy to doctrine up. So you can change a photo very easy, more than footage.
Easier than footage, yeah. But
so I guess you've got to take it with a grain of salt because you've got your misexposures and stuff like that. So
the ones where you think, oh, okay, this is a bit harder to alter is if you have a photo that's taken way before any sort of computer editing was around, like Photoshop and things like that, you know. And there's a timestamp on it and things like that. But then again, someone could still take that photo, Photoshop it, and put it back up. So
you've got to be careful.
It's very easy to fake stuff these days.
Ferguson's brother. Even when a family member dies, it can sometimes feel like they're still looming over your shoulder. This photo
Yeah.
takes that notion quite literally. At an LA spiritualist convention,
That could
Robert
be
A.
double
Ferguson
exposure
took to the
too.
podium while
I'm
someone in the
not-
crowd snapped
yeah.
his photo on a Polaroid. Ferguson wasn't alone in the picture, as another man resembling his brother Walter
Over front of
materialized beside
Mm.
him. Here's the thing though, Walter died during World War II in 1944. This photo wouldn't be taken until November 16th, 1968.
Oh, wow.
We can only assume that this heightened Robert's belief in the supernatural. He'd go on to write the 1977 book, Psychic Telemetry, New Key to Health, Wealth, and Perfect Living. Number 16, Toys R Us goes. Growing up, few things were more enthralling than
called
browsing
Chucky.
Toys R Us for Transformers, Barbies, and ghosts.
I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys kid.
At a Sunnyvale, California location, a foreboding figure appeared in the background of this photo, although he apparently wasn't present when it was taken. Some believe that the Sunnyvale store is haunted, with various employees and patrons reporting strange activities. As legend goes, the store was built where the Murphy farm once stood. A preacher named Johnny Johnson fell in love with Murphy's daughter Elizabeth, but she fancied a lawyer. Johnson later died in an accident involving an axe, although his spirit still roams the land, according to psychic Sylvia Brown. Whether or not it's Johnny in the picture, we guess Toys R Us is technically a ghost now. Number 15, come play with us at the Stanley Hotel.
Ah, that's cool.
Of course, The Shining would lead to some real-world ghost stories.
Come play with us, Daddy.
The Stanley Hotel in Colorado inspired The Overlook from Stephen King's classic horror novel. Although Oregon's Timberline Lodge was used for exterior shots in the 1980 film adaptation, the 1997 miniseries was shot at the Stanley Hotel.
They regard me as a bit of a bastard. They're right. One has to be a bit to run a hotel such as this.
While taking the hotel's spirit tour, John J. Mosling snapped a photo on his phone.
I've seen that photo.
Investigating the photo,
Cool.
John and his wife Jessica noticed a little blonde girl who wasn't
Child,
present on
man.
the tour. Although some believe this is the work of Photoshop, John claims that he isn't the most tech-savvy
There we go.
person. Former FBI agent Ben Hansen also found no clear signs of doctoring, calling it, quote, one of the best photos of possible paranormal evidence he's seen.
You like this hotel?
Good movie. Good movie, The Shining.
Yeah.
I do. I love it.
Number 14, Jason
Jack
Griffith's
Nicholson was
grandfather.
really good in that movie.
2 years after Jason Griffith's grandfather, Alan Price, died, his family continues to feel his presence, or at least a ghostly presence. Jason's uncle moved into the house that Alan and his wife once occupied, claiming that he saw a murky man lurking in the garden. Jason and his fellow amateur ghost hunter,
REM pod?
Stephen Richards, dropped by to investigate the bizarre activity.
You might go live in night vision. What was that?
Of all the footage they caught
Oh,
on
that's
camera,
pretty cool.
the highlight was what appears to be a face gazing through the kitchen window. Jason not only noticed a resemblance to his grandfather, but the so-called ghost appeared to be wearing his hat as well. If the ghost is indeed
yeah.
haunted, at least the Griffiths are keeping it in.
What do you think of that photo, guys? Because it is transparent. You can see right through it to the structure behind. So I think that's a really good one, don't you?
Yeah. Especially if it's got features that resemble and you can pick up and see that it's a family loved one, you know, and you go, wow, like, yeah.
But then I think you have to be aware of pareidolia as well. So you got to...
How you can also do it too is if that person is not used, if you got someone that passed on that hasn't got that didn't have any photos taken. There's a lot of people out there that don't get their photo taken. It's very hard to find a photo of someone, and you see them in a photo like that. You go, well, Uncle Jimmy never had his photo taken, and yet you can see him in the photo here. There's no photo to grab him from. You know, what I mean, to superimpose him in. You get that? Yeah. So,
in the family. Number 13, Man in Black at Septon Church. Since churches are spiritual places, it only makes sense that they would get a few ghosts. Constructed in the 12th century, Septon Church still stands at Merseyside, England. In September 1999, 2 people at the church took this photo, which was published in Brad Steger's Real Ghosts, Restless Spirits, and Haunted Places. Although the 2 don't recall anybody being in their shot, the photo reveals a blurry man wearing black. Given the figure's dark attire, some have speculated that this might be the ghost of a minister.
wow.
Of course, devils
I knew
have
that
also
was
been
coming. I've
depicted
seen
as black
since the
getups.
two.
Whether he's from above or below, the person in this picture definitely looks otherworldly.
Yeah.
Number 12, the original photo bomber.
No.
If you were to just look at one half
Oh,
of this
I've seen
photo,
this.
it might seem like a pleasant moment shared between two mothers and their children. Zooming out, however, you'll find something straight out of a gothic horror story. Supposedly taken in the 50s,
Oh, yeah.
the photo
That
depicts
is
a
so
figure
cool,
hanging
that
upside
photo.
down while
Yeah.
others gaze unsuspectingly into the camera. The figure almost blends into the background with its shadowy arms and a head that's
Yeah.
nothing but a black void, almost like
Pretty
Slender
cool,
Man.
guys.
Nobody knows why he takes who he takes or why he leaves who he leaves. But the ones he leaves behind are messed up forever.
Where Slender Man wears a dark suit, though, this figure is wearing some sort of one-piece long underwear. While that kind of takes away from the creep factor, we still wouldn't want this faceless figure photobombing us.
Hell yeah, we
Number
would.
11. Ghosts on the Tulip Staircase.
Just stay there.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Queen's House in Greenwich, which is now part of the
look at
National
that.
Maritime Museum, has
That's
what might be the
cool.
first self-supporting spiral staircase in the UK. Known as the Tulip Stairs, these historic steps caught the eye and the camera of Reverend Ralph Hardy in June 1966. Observing the photo, Hardy
something
noticed
on
an
the back
eerie
there.
figure
Yeah.
clinging to the railing.
Handle, yeah.
There's another here.
A seance was held by the staircase, and others tried to capture the supposed spirit on film, but no luck. Hardy's photo appears to be an anomaly, although it's not the only report of supernatural activity at the Queen's house. In any case, this photo is further proof of why the spiral staircase
like
is the
the
most
rail thing.
spine-chilling
Yeah,
staple
the
of any
stairs.
haunted house. Number 10. The works of William Hope. William Hope was one of the first individuals to specialize in spirit photography,
Yeah,
putting together a
cool.
portfolio of otherworldly images. He even served as the founder and leader of the Crew Circle Spiritualist group. Some of Hope's spirit photos were proven to
If anyone's heard about this guy, let us know in the comments if
Yeah.
you've seen any of his images and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
be fake, and many believed that he was a fraud in general. Even so, Hope would give us some of the most iconic photos in all of ghost hunting. In a photo of Charles Tweedale and his
Oh, look at
wife,
that.
the spirit of her late father can allegedly be
Oh,
seen
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
background.
Eyes, nose, and
A
chin.
similar photo supposedly reunited Mr. and Mrs. Gibson with their late son. Arguably the most famous photo Hope took was of Mrs. Hortense Leverson as her departed husband loomed over her.
Oh,
Number 9. Terrifying Terrier. Losing a cherished pet is never easy, although it wasn't just the owners who had to bid farewell to this terrier. The bigger dog in this other photo, which was taken a few weeks after the loss, was
Oh,
the
dog
terrier's
off the back of
playmate. The terrier's death took a noticeable toll on the big dog, but the pooch's little friend might have been
Tails
closer than anyone
Oh,
thought.
it is
If you look closely at the photo,
Yeah, I was right.
you can
Look at
spot
that,
what
guys.
looks like the terrier levitating over the big dog. Was this a photography trick, a similar looking dog, or was the terrier not ready to go to the big fire hydrant in the sky? In any case, the story was fascinating enough to make it into a 1939 issue of Life magazine. Number 8. Geneva King.
Do they miss me in Chicago?
Yes, at least a
movie.
dozen people send their love.
How gorgeous.
They're absolutely in mourning.
No amount of fire
Like
or
Gatsby,
freshness
I've
can
seen,
challenge
sure.
what a man will store up in his ghostly heart. That's one of Daisy Buchanan's most memorable quotes in F. Scott Fitzgerald magnum opus, The Great Gatsby. It's widely believed that Daisy was inspired by socialite Geneva King, who was briefly involved with Fitzgerald during their youth. King passed away in 1980, but could the green light still be burning at the end of the dock? This photo taken by Christy Ranieri in 2018 seems to suggest so. Ranieri was outside King's old summer home in Lake Forest, Illinois, when she captured this eerie image.
Ooh,
Ranieri
that's a
believes
good
that
one.
the strange face in the photo is King's ghost, noting a haunting resemblance to the late heiress.
See, we were there all along.
you got to be careful, guys. With
idea.
pareidolia, you can see things in stuff, so
Yeah.
really be careful of it.
Of course, if anything is not to your liking, I'll change it.
Number 7. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall.
I've seen this
The
one.
only
This is
thing more
famous,
chilling
this
than
one.
this
Yeah.
photo is its backstory. The ghostly figure is supposedly Lady Dorothy Walpole, the sister of Prime Minister Robert Walpole and the second wife of Charles Townshend. As legend has it, Townshend learned that Dorothy had an affair with nobleman Thomas Wharton prior to their marriage. Holding a fake funeral for her, Townshend locked Dorothy up at Raynham Hall, where she remained until her passing in 1726.
Oh.
While much of that story is based on rumors, this photography is all the proof some spiritualists need. Taken by Captain Hubert C. Provend in
You say something,
1936, the photo supposedly shows Dorothy's ghost wandering down the stairs of Raynham Hall. She was apparently wearing a brown dress, hence the nickname
Notice
the
all the
Brown
black
Lady.
down beside it.
Yeah.
Number 6, Spectre of Newbie Church. In 1963, Reverend Kenneth F. Lord snapped this photo inside the Newbie Hall Church of Christ the Consoler. The church's beautiful architecture is largely outshined by a dark figure hanging out in the corner, wearing what appears to be a hooded...
I don't know about you guys, but this photo here for me looks a little bit fake because of the whole like sheet with the eyes cut out. It just... there's something about it. It just doesn't look right. What do you
They're
think?
doing the whole, what's the word? The stereotypical sheet with the hole, holes in the eyes. Yeah.
I just don't know about this one.
robe and a white shroud, the ghostly figure came to be known as the Newbie Monk, as well as the Spectre of Newbie Church, where some people believe this to be a 9-foot-tall 16th century
And the eyes
monk.
look
Others
cut out.
claim that it's merely a costumed accomplice standing on a box. It's also been theorized that the figure is a product of double exposure, which is when multiple images are placed over each other to create a single image, although a few photography experts would beg to differ. Number 5. Ellen Hamill. We've all heard the stranger in the backseat urban legend, and this spine-chilling photo only gives you more
that's
reason to
pretty
keep
cool.
an eye on the rearview
Ellen.
mirror. In 1959, Mabel Chinnery took a photo of her husband in the
That's
driver's seat of their
so
car.
cool.
Chinnery's mother, Ellen Hamill, can
Look at his
supposedly be
eyes.
seen in the back seat. The thing is, Mrs. Hamill had died a
What?
week earlier, and the photo was taken
No, have a
shortly
look
after
properly.
visiting
It's
her
like
grave.
white.
What's
And
more,
look,
Chinnery's
see, there's
mother
no
liked
glasses.
to sit in the exact spot whenever Mr. Chinnery drove her around. Again,
Yeah,
double
it's made with
exposure
some
might be
glasses.
the obvious explanation
Sunnies,
for this
yeah.
alleged
Yeah.
hitchhiking ghost. However, at least one photo expert believed it was genuine, according to Parade magazine, which
lady.
published the story.
Look back.
Number 4. Freddie Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
At first glance,
Yeah,
this
this
photo
one's
of a
pretty cool.
Royal Air Force squadron might not seem like anything out of the ordinary. It stands out for two.
Woohoo! Told you it was coming. You're never going to get me, brother. And don't encourage him.
Two reasons, though. First, it was taken by Sir Victor Goddard, who fought in both world wars. Second, you can allegedly see the ghost of air mechanic Freddie Jackson in the background. 2 days before the photo was taken in 1919, Jackson tragically died in an airplane propeller accident.
Oh.
Those who knew Freddie couldn't help but
It's
notice
nasty
his
way to
resemblance
die.
to the ghostly face in the photo. Some like to think that Jackson was unaware of his passing and thus joined in the group pic. The photo was later published in 1975,
Oh, that's
and
really
the
cool,
exact
eh?
nature behind it continues to baffle. Number 3.
Because the thing with that photo, if it was double exposure, all of them would have that
Yeah,
behind them.
yeah,
You know? So that was pretty cool. What do you think about that?
Yeah.
Sorry, dude.
That's all right. It's all good.
What do you think about that photo?
It to me, it's a legit photo. It's been out for years. I mean, I've seen that so many times, that photo. Once again, it's back in the time where there was no computers or anything like that.
For editing, yeah.
For editing and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, because they couldn't really edit those photos because it's just on film. It's not like they're going to be able to put any detail into that photo.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big enough photography expert to know how it works, but
If any of yous are out there, let us know what you think.
definitely.
Lord Combermere. In 1891, the second Viscount Combermere was laid to rest. If this photo is any indication, however,
Oh.
Lord Combermere might have been absent from his own funeral. Shortly before
That's
the funeral,
pretty cool.
Lord Combermere's sister-in-law, Sybil Courbet, arranged a camera at the Abbey Library and took an hour-long exposure. Combermere Abbey was 4 miles away from St. Margaret's Church where the funeral was being
that's
held.
plating.
When the photo was developed, an apparition resembling Lord Combermere was found sitting in his favorite chair.
Oh.
The most logical explanation is that one of the staff members stayed behind and sat in the chair, although they were all apparently at the funeral. Perhaps Lord Combermere was taking a brief rest before moving on to the great beyond.
That's pretty cool.
Number 2.
No matter whatever happens, you're always going to get skeptics that make up an excuse for this and excuse for that.
Yeah.
Right? There's always going to be a reason. No matter how much technology comes out, you can have a ghost standing there stare you in the face, and you're going to get a skeptic go, "Nah, I'm just dreaming."
Yeah.
You know? You're never going to be able to please everybody.
Dime a dozen.
Yeah.
The Amityville Ghost. Ronald DeFeo Jr. was infamously responsible for the deaths of 6 family members in 1974. 13 months after the murders took place, the DeFeo house was purchased by the Lutz family, who left after 28 days due to alleged paranormal activity.
Forgive our sins.
I like that. I'm out. I'm done.
Done.
Grant this through Jesus Christ our Lord.
This would all provide the basis for the Amityville horror books and films. But is the house truly haunted? Who better to find out than Ed and Lorraine Warren, 2 names you'll recognize from the Conjuring movies. Investigating the house a few weeks after the Lutz family departed, the Warrens walked away with a photo of a bright-eyed little boy. There were apparently no children in the house, leading some to believe that this was the ghost of 9-year-old John Matthew DeFeo, Ronald's brother. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
I put it in there. Hey again. Oh, jeez.
There's a lot of history behind that with Dan and I. That's hilarious. Every time he does it, I lose it.
Inside joke. Go quick. Keep playing.
Okay.
Videos.
Should
You'll
have
have the
done
option
that,
to be
too.
notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Abraham Lincoln. Before there was William Hope, there was William H. Mumler, widely considered the first spirit photographer. Although many believed Mumler to be a fraud, this photo would forever engrave his name in the paranormal history books.
She came back to pick up her print, and lo and behold, there was Abraham Lincoln standing behind her. He's got his hands on her shoulders.
Mumler's subject is Mary Todd Lincoln, and the ghostly figure putting his hand on her shoulders is allegedly President Abraham Lincoln, who was, of course, assassinated in 1865. It's been said that this photo was taken in 1869, and Mumler didn't know until after it developed that Mrs. Lincoln had been in his presence. Another account claims that Mumler took it in the 1870s, and Mrs. Lincoln approached him under a pseudonym. As for the photo's legitimacy, maybe it's fake, but only honest Abe himself would know for sure.
At all rates, whatever may be proven by blood and sacrifice must have been proved by now.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
Yeah, well, what do you guys That's a bit of an inside joke with Pete and I and the Cartman thing.
Long time ago, long time ago.
Yeah.
And every time he does it,
he loses it.
It's over.
I used to be able to do Cartman's voice like to a T. And over the years, just not doing it anymore. I've just lost it. And then every now and then I'll do something like that, and he'll just start with it.
Hilarious. But yes, I reckon that it's a bit hard with photos because you've got to watch out for being fake and stuff like that. But there was some really interesting images in there, like that last one with Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
But I think they'd have to have a look at that with the plates because with the photography back then, it flashed onto a plate and then you copy the image. But it's really interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, big time. I thought it was great. You can definitely see that it's meant to be him.
Yeah.
You can see it in his face and that. I don't know. That's the beauty of this, is the fact that we can all have our own opinion. Yeah. And we can all come to our own conclusions. So.
But any of those photos, guys, we would love you to tell us what you think in the description, in the comments below.
Yep.
And let us have it. Let us find out what you guys think of those.
Give us your thoughts, definitely, So once again, he scared the pants off me, and I'm going to go change them now. Yeah.
Guys that watched the live this morning, it's never gonna happen. And there's my ego coming out, so he'll get me one day, maybe.
All good. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we've got our another paranormal investigation video coming out very soon, so keep your eyes open.
Have we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
yeah.
So on that note, have a good one, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Hi Dan, hi Pete, hi Night Watchers family. I just wanted to say how much I love your channel and your community. It's really great to be a part of this community because it is where I come to relax, and I absolutely love everything you do, boys, and best moderators on YouTube. Love you.